Before we talk about this weekend, can we talk about last weekend?
We can.
That was, and, I suppose a bit of a monkey for that.
It was just really nice to see reward for effort from our group, and we obviously have a pretty tough fixture, certainly to start the season, playing Crows and Lions, round 1, round 2, and then to travel and get our first away win in the conditions that we did. I think coming back from 20 points down in the third quarter showed real grit from our team, and I think something I'm really proud of is the pressure we applied against the Saints, but also we withstood. Saints were #1 pressure factor team for the comp in that round, and so we stood up to that as well, which I think is a reflection of the standard we played against in round 1 and 2. So certainly happy to talk about last week.
And not just the win itself, but the fact that you were down by so much.
Yeah.
How much belief does that give you?
Yeah, I think you ask your players to take a level of risk, particularly offensively, and I've spoken a lot about how much we'd like to open up scoring in this game. And I think for us, for our people, for our fans and our members watching high-scoring games, and for the general community watching AFLW, to kick 8 goals, 8 on the road when you're down by 20 points, I think that's the type of footy people want to see. That's the type of footy I'd like to coach. And to ask that of our players to really take the game on away like that, I'm really proud of them.
Have you noticed a change this week just in terms of belief or enthusiasm?
It's a really good question, but actually no change. Our group, it's one thing I'm proud of in our group. Even last year when it was a really challenging year, 1 win, 1 draw in 10 weeks, it's our group always turns up regardless of the result the previous week, and so it's always a slightly lifted mood when you win. And it's definitely reward for effort, but regardless of the result each week our group turns up to learn, and so not a heap of difference, to be honest.
Aaron got her first goal as well. Was that exciting to see?
Oh, it was great. Obviously there's been so much talk, more so media-wise and fans. I think a lot of people don't realise how much time Aaron spends high up the ground. So to kick her first goal was really nice, but also the timing for the team, that was essentially the sealer on the day, so that was even better.
Caitlin Pope's also been named again this week. Were you very happy with her performance last week?
Yeah, we're really happy with Caitlin Pope. She certainly earned her spot and was pretty unlucky to be out of the team from round 1 really. So what we really love about Pope is she's actually got a lot of experience as an elite athlete, both in cricket and AFLW, and she hasn't always had things go her way. So to have a level of resilience in a player that we've added to the group, I think adds some maturity to our whole team. And she really showed that, and might have taken her a little bit of time to get in the game, but certainly that second half she showed her weapons and really brought a fair bit of pace and attacking and defensive urgency to the game, which we love.
How does that transfer over the professionalism from one sport to another?
I think what a lot of people don't realise is how hard this environment is, a high performance sport. Even the best players don't get things their own way week to week, and things are judged by wins and losses all the time, and no team can win every single week, and not every player can play every single week. And so to have someone like Caitlin Pope, who's had her fair share of adversity with selection in cricket and football, to be able to show the level of maturity and how you turn up consistently regardless of whether you get things your own way, I think makes a real difference to a young side.
What would the CBA do in terms of improving that environment and the amount of time that the girls are able to spend at the club as well?
CBA is a huge step forward for the whole competition, and reflecting on my time certainly in the playing environment, from I was involved in all of those conversations with the PA from 2016 onwards, and I can remember being in that room in the very first meeting with the key stakeholders of the AFLPA and a number of us players at the time, and they said, how much do you think you're worth? And we had no idea. And so to go from that in 2016 to now, where I think in a couple of years' time we'll be above the minimum wage for every single player in the comp, certainty over a 5-year deal, and a whole range of other things that are huge for female athletes. It's a massive step forward, and just the certainty, even in my role now as a senior coach, you can start planning and have some certainty around how much time you might have players available to you next year, even in the off-season and pre-season. So it's huge.
What is it? Is it relief? Is it emotion when you see it go from where it was to where it is now?
I think it's probably more pride in how much the competition's grown, and the investment in the AFLW, I think, is a huge step forward. So it's, I shot a message to Paul Marsh and Julia Chiara from the PA yesterday and just said, this is incredible work, and To see that level of investment into female sport and our competition is going to be crucial as the competition grows. So yeah, it's probably more pride than anything else, and excitement to know that you invest in women's sport, you get great outcomes, and that's really happening now.
Only fitting if Maddie gets a Port Adelaide against the Cat.
Yeah, so Maddie Kerrick and I actually played at Carlton together in that first 2 seasons. So she's been another addition similar to Caitlin Pope, where you've got someone who things haven't always gone their way, but they just turn up and work really hard for the team every single day, and really humble and modest about how they go about it. On field, real competitor, brings serious contests, which we really value. So, and knows Geelong inside out. So I think really great timing for Maddie to come into the team, and probably for her not a moment too soon.
What do you expect from Geelong?
They're a good side. Yeah, I thought watched Geelong North last Friday night, and we've seen how good North are, and I thought Geelong looked the better team in that first half last week, and North probably stepped up and showed that extra bit of class. They've got some serious players in their side as well. So yeah, expecting a really contested game of footy. They've got an elite midfield, which, you know, hopefully we can show some of our learnings from those early rounds against elite midfields. But yeah, I do, knowing that we stood up to the number one pressure factor in the competition in last round. Geelong are number one pressure factor team for the competition in the first 3 weeks. So it's going to be a hotly contested game. We're really looking forward to it.